Today's topic is a big one. Clouds are a tough subject matter. Although we see them every day, we rarely take the time to observe them. They can take all sorts of shapes and colors. Not only that, but they can be lit from many angles. Talking about clouds implies talking about skies, making it even a little more complicated. In this two-part tutorial, we are going to first try to understand and analyze clouds. We are going to see how they can interact with the sun and skylight. And in the next video, we will see how we can actually draw them in pixel art. So what's a cloud exactly? They are the result of an accumulation of small water or ice particles floating in the air. Those particles result from the condensation of water vapor. There are quite a few types of clouds, but we can arrange them in three major categories: stratus, cirrus, and cumulus. We also have rainy clouds called nimbus. Strata tend to look like more or less uniform sheets. They form at any altitude, meaning that you can find them pretty low in the sky or pretty high and far away from you. Cirri look more like filaments and are generally detached from one another. They are the more ethereal and soft kind of clouds. They tend to blend a lot with the sky. Lastly, cumuli are our go-to cloud for side-scrolling games. That's the imposing ones with the most defined volumes. Their surfaces are irregular and clearly outlined by the sunlight. But that's not all. We also have clouds that fit into two categories at the same time: a thin, cloudy sheet with filaments propagating from its edges, a cirrostratus. A layer of thick and dark, fluffy clouds, chances are it's a stratocumulus. What's probably most complicated at first with clouds is understanding their volume. Clouds are large and erratic at times. They also tend to fade into the sky along their borders. On top of that, light rays are diffused and scattered through them. That is why, unless a cloud is very thick, it tends to be bright. It acts as a volumetric light source. However, if you take a cumulus for instance, you still have a somewhat solid form that is lit by the sun on one side and looks darker on the shadow side. It is only thanks to that we can understand the volume and shapes of a cloud. It is also the reason why abstracting clouds with only two colors can work. That's very handy for pixel art. We can look at a photo, find the sun's direction, and observe how clouds cast shadows onto themselves. The brighter side faces the sun and the darker side faces away from the sun. From that, we can start drawing big cross-sections to plot a cloud's volume. As far as colors are concerned, clouds are closely linked to those of the sky. The cloud's shadow color will reflect the sky color during the day. At dawn or at dusk, clouds tend to become darker, bluer on the shadow side and yellow, red or orange on the sun side. They can also show shades of purple, pink, peach, and all sorts of colors in nature. I even remember seeing a gray-green sky when I was younger during a violent storm. We don't get completely uniform shadow colors in most cases. The shadow shapes can be relatively well defined, but their colors tend to vary a lot. This is partly due to the fact that clouds are translucent. Light travels through them, and a little bit comes back out on the other side. There is one thing that's very important as far as understanding cloud colors is concerned. You can't only observe them on photos. In general, you have to take some time to observe your subject matter in nature if you want to know how vivid and varied its pure colors are. Cameras are not eyes. They don't capture and treat light information exactly like your brain does. In order to find the right sky and combination of clouds for your game, you should always study references. And by that, I don't mean that you should go and copy them. First, take some time to observe pictures as well as the sky outside. Take notes about the different kinds of skies, cloud shapes, lighting conditions, and colors you can find. It's also a great opportunity to think about the techniques you could use to reproduce or stylize them. Here's a quick case study to wrap up the video. I love those turquoise clouds with vibrant colors and high value contrast. I think they are very typical in games, especially with pixel art. They are both fun and pretty easy to draw as they have clearly separated light and shadow sides. We can plot their silhouettes and volume thanks to those visual cues. If we check our cloud's shadow colors against the sky, you can note that they are not so saturated. As far as values are concerned, in broad daylight, the shadows are relatively close to the darker shades of the sky. On these pictures, you can already observe the variety of clouds that are mixed together. Here, you have a mix of cirrus and cumulus of different sizes. In a game, we don't necessarily want to make the skies look as random as in reality, but it is still interesting to learn to mix up multiple layers of clouds to give our virtual worlds a sense of depth. That's it for now. To take the most out of a video like this, I invite you to take your own notes on clouds and to share them with everyone in the comments or on social networks. You can spend as little or as much time as you'd like on a picture. What's important is that you take a moment to train your observation skills. I'll be posting a bonus video this week to give you a full analysis example. In the meantime, if you like the video, you can click on that like button, become a subscriber to support the channel, or share it with your friends. I want to thank you all for watching. Be creative, have fun, until next time.